WhiskyJaosn here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, often reviewing rare and exotic whiskeys. This is a German exclusive. I've done two of these, I think, already on my channel, so this could and should be my third. This is from ElsBurn, a German distillery. They call it Cosy Winter with the S, not the American spelling, the British spelling. The special 2024 release. Now, this is a Kirsch Import exclusive. That means every single bottle goes to the German distributor importer called Kirsch Import, and they sell this whiskey. So you cannot buy this whiskey at the distillery. You cannot buy this whiskey through the distillery online shop, but you can buy it through a lot of different online shops. So Whiskybase number 265520. Now I'm going to talk about a few little things here. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is this is the 10th edition of this Kirsch Import exclusive in cooperation with ElsBurn. Now, ElsBurn is a little distillery there in the Harz Mountains, about an hour and a half away from Hanover. On the way to Berlin, up in those the Harz is a good little area of vacationing with good mountains. In the winter, sometimes you can even go skiing there. And sometimes we actually say when we were there, oh, we're in the Harz. I was just there 3 weeks ago visiting my son who lives close by. The clocks tick much slower there. Technology arrives 10, 20 years later sometimes is what we have the feeling. Now, this is Whiskybase 265520. And what I want to mention first of all, is I'm going to go through all 10 of these releases very, very quickly, don't worry, and talk about how many bottles have been released, what the alcohol strength has been over the years, and also the different cask combinations they've used. All right, this has 641 bottles. That's it, 641. Not a very big bottling, if you ask me. Last year, so 2023, they had 864 bottles. And we go back 1 year to 2022, there was 1,430 bottles. So we went from 1,400 down to 600. It's more than halved. If we go back here to the year 2021, it was 1,344. If we go back to the year 2020, it was 1,000 only. We go back to 2019, 672. 2018, 648. 2017, 648 as well. 2016, 625. And the first year they did it was the year 2015. And there was 480 bottles. 480, 600, 600, 600, 1,000, 1,400, 800, 600. Is this the curve of the whiskey market? That's a question I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to ask me. This is cooperation between the biggest importer of whiskey in Germany and one of the better and bigger distilleries in Germany. They're not the biggest, but they do make a good amount of whiskey there. And they are very close on the whiskey market. And they have decided, oh, look, during the COVID years, that was the highest amount since COVID. It's gone back down. And if you watch Whiskey Tales, Andre Haberecht, he has been talking for the last year and a half about how the bubble has already burst. And how we're actually in this downward trend. And each and every week, if not every other week at least, he actually gives independent facts and independent reporting of the spirits industry to highlight how his theory is not wrong. Yeah? So, now this whiskey is... There's also the possibility and Whiskybase to judge this whiskey or rank this whiskey according to its ABV. So I'm going to just very, very interestingly do this. In the year 2015, when ElsBurn started with the Cosy Winter special release, they put it out at 45.9%. Not the thing nerds, hearts go boom, boom, boom about. 1 year later, they pumped it up to 49.3. Oh, now we're getting there. And then, actually, in 2017, they went to 50.1. Yeah, finally. 2019, 50.2, 2022, 52.3, 2024 is now 53.1. Last year we had 53.2, 2018 we had 55.1. 2020 we had 55.2, and the highest was 2021 with 56.2. All right, so we've had from 49 up to 56%. It hasn't always been cask strength. Now, what I also want to mention here is the fact that we have different barrel compositions. What does that mean, compositions of barrels? It means that we actually have a combination of casks that have been blended together at the distillery, still single malt. You can take different casks, put them together, but that cask combination is almost every single time unique. This time we have first fill Pedro Jimenez hogsheads and first fill Amarone hogshead. Ta-da! Amarone wine from Italy, Pedro Jimenez PX from sherry. Boom. Last year we actually had a combination here of Malaga, Muscatel, Marsala, and sherry. So 4 different casks. Last year's was a little bit of sulfur. The year before that, 2022, we had Malaga, Marsala, port, and sherry. The year before that, there was a Malaga, Dolce Marsala, and port casks. You'll see the port casks coming back. In 2020, we had Malaga and Ruby port casks. Interesting. In 2019, Malaga, sherry, and Ruby port casks. 2018, we had here Marsala, Amarone. It's been since 2018, the last time we've actually had any Amarone, and Ruby port casks. 2017, we had Malaga, Marsala, and Ruby port casks. 2016, we had Pedro Jimenez, the first time I mentioned that again. So there has not been a Pedro Jimenez since 2016. So 8 years ago, and Malaga casks, and the first one was actually a mix of Pedro Jimenez and Malaga casks. So this is for me very interesting because I know the owner of the distillery, Anna Buchholz. She really uses very good casks. She has very good connection with very interesting bodegas. She does not need thousands and thousands of casks every year. She needs dozens and dozens of casks every year. And she will actually contact the different bodegas and get very, very good first fill casks. She uses them first time and a second time and not again. She'll get rid of those casks after the second use. She'll sell them off. She'll actually give them back to whoever wants them, and she'll make garden furniture out of it if it needs to be, or let someone make garden furniture out of that. She will not use a cask a third or fourth, fifth time. All right, first, second, that's it. And it's very interesting to see how there's been a shift. She used to have a lot when I first met. I was first there. I think it was 2017. There were a whole lot of Zoltan casks. She does not have a good source of Zoltan cask anymore. She filled up almost all the Zoltan casks the first and second time since then, and no more whiskey. No more Zoltan casks. Now we're moving over to different things, and that reflects a little bit of the market. Have you had a PX Amarone mix before? I haven't. I think that's so fascinating. Even they have a journey. So the journey is 5 different casks. There was Malaga, Muscatel, Marsala, sherry, and I think port. And so that's very similar last year's to what we would actually normally have with some of the products. I'm going to compare this. What am I going to compare it to? I was actually involved in this whiskey. A Hillock, that's the distillery 8 minutes basically away from where I live. This is a single cask. This is a single cask Oloroso with 60.6% ABV. Now the price of this, the recommended retail price is $79.90. The first shops have it online for 74 euros. So I think about 75 euros is where we're going to land on this. This is direct from the distillery, 83 euros 90. All right, so this is single cask. This is cask strength, 60.6%. This is 8-year aged, full maturation in a Oloroso hogshead, but sherry butt. Hogshead, seasoned. Sherry butt, probably seasoned. All right. So the colors. I mean, I hope you can see this. Let's see if I can make sure we can identify the differences here. Yeah, that's good. You can almost see through this. You can almost see me. This, there's no chance of all at all. All right, so very, has a little bit of copper brown tones. It is the winter edition. This is that. Oh, I have actually a translation here of the press release for us and for me. It says here, as reliable as Santa Claus, it's back again this year. The ElsBurn Cosy Winter number 10, exclusively for Kirsch Import customers. The winter whiskey combines a hint of open fire, I'll talk about that in a moment, with spiced speculoos and dried fruit. A little bit of gingerbread, all right? Red apple, mandarin, plums, sultanas, and chocolate to create Christmas highlights on the palate. Cozy Winter exudes coziness, just like the name promises. A combination of first fill sherry and Amarone casks is responsible for the warm reddish brown color of the 10th exclusive bottling. The gently wood smoked. So there's a slightly smoky Hercynian single malt contributes a campfire feeling. And the dram for the cold season was produced in its natural form without coloring or chill filtration and at its aromatic strength of 53.1% in just 641 bottles. Remember the curve, went up, went back down, and who knows where we're going to land. All right, on the nose, I do get a little bit of that that smokiness there. I have to look at the word here. I need... beech. Okay, this is beech wood smoke is what they have here. I forgot the word in English. The Amarone and the Pedro Jimenez actually harmonize. That's very, very good. This is much... it's fruitier. It's richer. It's earthier. It's a little bit of a mocha moment as well. I really, really like this. This is good. You notice my exuberance is more here than here. It's good. So would I put 79, 83? Would I go for the single cask when the age statement for €4 more? Definitely. Would I buy maybe something else for €80? Yes. That's the problem here with German whiskey sometimes. But German whiskey is catching up. They're good. They're not great all the time, but they're really good. All right, cheers. Last year's release was a lot of sulfur. Here, I have a little bit. The Amarone casks carry a little bit of that with it. I don't know. I don't think it's a Pedro Jimenez. It's complex. You have layers. You have the beech smoke. You have the barley. You have the wood. You have the fruitiness of the Amarone dry fruit. You have the sweet raisins of the Pedro Jimenez. And they all, it's almost like a sandwich. Have you had a sandwich like with 8 different things? You had your tomatoes, and you had your lettuce, and you have your bacon, and you might have your fried bologna or whatever you want to go in there. You have your ketchup and your mayonnaise, and you have your pickles, and you have maybe a little bit of relish. And you have these different layers, and when you bite into it, sometimes the sandwich can be just all over the place, and sometimes it just can be a unity, a harmony. And I get the harmony with this. You get the layers, but it's one bite, and it's really good. This is a C+ whiskey. Now, I'm not the beech smoke fanboy. It could be a B-, but I just don't love the beech smoke. That pulls it down a little bit of my ranking here. But it's a very good whiskey. Well done. Value for money. Would I pay €80 for this? No. Would I pay €75 for this again? No. Did I buy a second bottle? Yes. I do a bottle share, and so many people want to try it. It's like, okay, good, I'll take a look and say, oh, look, there's still 1 bottle left. I'll buy it. That's also a little bit of a tiny indicator of where we're at. This bottle came out last week, Tuesday. Today is Sunday. There are still some of the 641 bottles on the exporter's website. That didn't used to happen. They would So this was a Christmas solid whiskey that people bought. And it's still there. There is, at least in Germany, that trend of the COVID buying where everything sold out within oftentimes minutes and then was flipped on the secondary market, has almost not disappeared totally, but has declined massively. And bottles are in the shops longer, much longer. And especially seasonal editions like this, a limited edition, a limited release. Therefore, my value for money is a C D++ for this. This has exactly the same. I would actually just go C because this is the first time that this distillery has ever produced a single cask strength version of anything ever. They've had single casks, but they have never had it in cask strength. And we, my partner and I, Sebastian Busing and I, we had to really convince the owner, yes, you need this. No, I don't. Yes, you do. No, I don't. Yes, you do. Are you sure? Yes, we're sure. You really need this. The nerds want this. Well, maybe we could do it. Yes, you really need to. Okay, we'll do it. It took us a little bit of convincing to help the owner of the Habel Distillery, Michaela Habel, to actually go in that direction. And now she's more than excited. She says, I bring this everywhere, and I give it to all these nerds, and everyone just loves it. And this is good stuff. And it's like, yes, we know, Michaela. That's why we told you to make it a single cask. We had 10 different barrels, and we tried them, and like 3 were like, no, thank you. 2 were really good, and 1 was fantastic. And the fantastic one we bottled. And that's what that is. And it's great to be part of a team of people that can pick whiskeys. It was like a barrel pick was what we did there. And we were there to develop whiskeys. Alcohol, absolutely great with the no need to take any type of water with its 53.1%. It's really good. Well done. So my first question is, and this says Cozy Winter Whiskey. What is your winter whiskey? My winter whiskey used to be Redbreast 21. This year it's going to be Redbreast 18. I think this is great whiskey. I fell in love with this whiskey. I mean, they did a great job with and that's the combination as well here. This is a combination I've never had before. All right, so we have here, where does it say it on the back? It says it, I guess. We had the combination of 18-year-old bourbon barrels, Oloroso sherry, cream sherry, and ruby port. Very similar. Triple, this is pot still, this is German, a little bit wood smoked, but those those cask combinations can really, really elevate a whiskey, just like adding a tiny little bit of horseradish to a sandwich can elevate the entire flavor profile. Ooh, pro tip there. All right, so what is your favorite winter whiskey? And my last question is, what is your favorite cask combination? I would have said 6 years ago, Bushmill 16 with the bourbon, sherry, and port. Today, I would go for probably a Madeira with a port and a Moscatel, or a PX, or a Palo Cortado. That would be my woo moment. Can you have too much cask influence with different type of fortified wines? Yes, but it's difficult to overdo it. Someone once said it's just like more closet space. Can a house have too much closet space? No. All right, so WhiskyJaosn here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, reviewing often rare and exotic whiskey, single cask, 641 bottles, small batch over here. Germany exclusive. Thank you very much for watching and telling others and liking and subscribing. And you know the rest. Bye-bye.